she's basically pushing abortion so you don't have children. I mean, 85% of all Planned Parenthoods in America are within walking distance of an urban community. It is genocidal when you think about the targeting that happens in the black community on the part of places like Planned Parenthood and abortion right activists and the abortion industry itself. And she's going to continue to push for this. But let me tell you, this is an age-old story because at the end of the day, this is about population control. They know it. They know it. They don't want it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want you talking about it. Or they've gotten to a point where they do want to talk about it, but you're not supposed to be paying attention. So Glenn talked about it on the show, and thank you for grabbing this, Chris. Glenn talked about it on his show yesterday morning. But this was March 11th, 1969, Center for Family Planning Program Development. This is a memo. The reason for the memo was what it was regarding was activities relevant to the study of population policy for the United States. And basically, it goes through how this is supposed to alter population trends. It says, my observations limited to the United States and to the activities which might shed light on the necessity for desirability of, and in some cases, the potential hazards of the development of an explicit governmental population policy or policies in the United States. This says, the continued U.S. population growth, it will inevitably cause a deterioration in the quality of life of this and future generations. This can be described as the ecological position. Said, it's an explicit U.S. policy to encourage or compel smaller family size in the U.S. It's necessary to enable our government effectively to encourage or compel developing nations to move in similar directions. This may be termed the international public relations position. And on and on and on it goes. And you read this thing, and it's just insane. The suggestions about becoming a contraceptive society. It talks about abortion. It talks about medical care. Absolutely insanity. Listen. When you start carrying this to the logical conclusion, you start talking about the propagation of certain sexual lifestyles that do not lend themselves towards progeny, and like the pushing of all of this stuff, economic incentives to fertility, absolutely crazy the stuff that they were saying out loud. This was 1969. And just coming right out and saying, no, this is direction we want to go. Postpone or avoid marriage. Alter the image of the ideal family size. Have the compulsory education of children. Encourage increased homosexuality. Educate for family limitation. Fertility control in the water supply. Encourage women to work, that is, get out of the house so they don't have a desire to have children. Compulsory abortion of out-of-wedlock pregnancies, compulsory sterilization of all who have 2 children, except for a few who would be allowed 3, confine childbearing to a limited number of adults, stock certificate permits for children. I mean, bro, this isn't communist China here, Chris. This is 1969 America. They wanted a marriage tax that was substantial, a child tax, tax married more than single, remove parents' tax exemption, additional taxes on parents with more than 1 or 2 children in school, eliminate paid maternity leave or benefits. You see where I'm going with all of this. Reduce children's or family allowances. But you get a bonus for delayed marriage on your taxes, and for greater child spacing. Pensions for women of 45 with less than, what is that number? Less than 2 children. Eliminate welfare payments after first 2 children.